Over the last 6 years, I've spoken directly to thousands of people that are struggling to get leaner, get more confidence, look stronger, get stronger, feel better, all that stuff. And this is what I've heard 99% of the time. In fact, you may be guilty of this phrase yourself. And it always goes something like this. Well, John, I watch what I eat. I'm not seeing results. I don't understand why. Or better yet, well, John, I eat pretty healthy and I'm just stuck. I have no idea what it could be. In fact, I've heard this so many times that the calls might as well just go like this. Yeah, so why don't you tell me a little bit about your nutrition? Just give me an overview as to what that looks like. Well, to be honest, John, you eat pretty healthy, right? You watch what you eat? Yeah, I got it. Just tell me how many calories. I want to know the calories. Get technical. Everybody eats healthy. You know, my 300-pound uncle eats healthy. I mean, come on. Let's be real. Just tell me the damn calories. If you're somebody who's been watching what you eat or eating healthy, cut this, cut that, tried this, tried that, not seeing the results, we're going to talk about exactly why it happens and why it's holding you back by just watching what you eat and how to go about fixing it today. Let's go. Coach John Mango helping you get leaner, stronger, and more energized so you can boost your confidence and reach your potential. Now listen, the very first reason why watching what you eat doesn't work is because in the present day, it is way too easy to overeat. And what I mean by that is very simple. You know, long time ago, we were hunter-gatherers, whatever, right? You understand that. We were not at a point where we could literally get up, walk 10 feet, and eat food. And we just have it all there for us whenever we want, as much as we want. Think about it this way. Your dog, your whatever pet you may have, if you just left food out or gave them more food than what you do give them, what's going to happen? Are they just going to stop and say, no, I'm good there? You're going to eat as much as possible. You see, naturally in our brains, we want to eat as much as we can because this improves our rates of survival, or at least it used to when food was scarce, when it wasn't readily available. In this day and age, we have access to, we've got a fridge stocked up with foods, and keep this in mind, it doesn't matter if the food is a healthy one or unhealthy one. Again, you may be able to see it back there, but I've got a big package of walnuts that I got from Costco. Okay, buying food in bulk. What a great time we live in, though people don't oftentimes appreciate that. The point is I got that big bowl of walnuts back there. Right beside the big bowl of walnuts, I have a scale. If I didn't use that scale for the walnuts, I'd be eating over the amount of walnuts that I thought I was eating for several days, weeks, months consecutively. I'd actually be getting pretty damn fat. The point is watching what you eat means nothing. Oftentimes it's arbitrary to the point where watching what you eat really means you're doing pretty well Monday to Friday, and then the weekend or Friday night comes and you're blown over. But you know, from what you can conveniently remember, you're watching what you eat, right? Sound familiar? Well, this is the majority of cases. A smaller amount of cases, but still a large amount of people are maybe even watching what they eat and being a little bit more consistent, but they're not tracking anything. They think that, oh, I can just, hey, I like avocados, I'll have 2 a day. That avocado tastes good. You know what? I'm really hungry. Let me have another avocado. Doesn't matter because it's healthy. I should be getting lean. I'm watching what I eat. It's good, right? No, it's too easy to overeat. Whether it's a bunch of fruit stashed over there, walnuts, healthy foods or unhealthy foods. The unhealthy foods, that's a given. You're gonna go over with that. You got cookies all over the place, you're screwed. So am I. We're all human. But even with the healthy foods, don't fool yourself into thinking, well, you know, I ate 2 things that were green yesterday, so clearly, I mean, I'm being pretty healthy. It means nothing, okay? You need to get an idea as to exactly how much you're actually consuming, which brings us over to the next point. So that's why it doesn't work, in a nutshell. Now, if we get to why tracking is so important, and it's because tracking calories is like tracking your finances. Now, I know you may be sitting here thinking, well, I don't track my finances either. Well, let me ask you, are you financially free? Are you where you want to be financially? Could you be in a better spot financially? Most of the time, the answer is going to be no. For the very same reason that I've asked those questions fitness-wise, you wouldn't be watching this video if it wasn't I'm not where I want to be. So the point is, you go to a financial advisor. Let's just say I'm a financial advisor right now, which I'm not, by the way, but let's say I am. And you say, okay, I'm trying to save money, but it's not working. I don't know what the problem is. I swear I'm doing well with my expenses. I don't buy a lot of stuff, right? That's the equivalent. I don't really buy a lot. I watch what I buy. I watch what I spend my money on. Okay, and then I ask you, well, this is a numbers game. How much money are you spending currently? And you say, I don't know, but it can't be that much. Financial advisor here is going to be like, listen, I don't care what you think. I don't care how it feels. I don't care what it looks like. Give me the number to the cent, please. This is the same thing when it comes to fitness. Of course, it's not as much of an exact science as money can be, but the point is without actually knowing and tracking your input versus output, then it's typically no wonder why people get stuck when their definition of watching what they eat and eating healthy is really up to their own interpretation. And if we're being honest, is not a very good one for most people. It's no wonder. So tracking calories is like tracking finances. And by the way, take that as two pieces of advice. If you're not tracking your finances, start applying this to your finances, and there you go. I just got you ripped and I got you rich. Thank me later. So to summarize the last 2 points, we move on to the third point, which is quantity precedes quality. What that means is quantity is in fact more important than quality when it comes to getting leaner, okay? This is first and foremost, it precedes it, because again, it doesn't matter how good quality of the food you're consuming is, they still, just like those walnuts over there, full of amazingly healthy fats, benefits, nutrients, but they're too easy to overeat on. So get your quantity down first, calories, macronutrients, and then you can worry about the foods you're eating. But don't worry about the foods you're eating until you get quantity down first. I'll give you an example that may be controversial to some people who don't understand any better, but if you have somebody who's eating McDonald's and donuts, but they're eating a caloric deficit, and this person's eating all the healthy foods, but they're not in a caloric deficit, guess what? The individual eating the less healthy foods will lose body fat, get leaner. That's correct. Anybody who thinks that that's a controversial statement simply doesn't know any better, simply hasn't studied the laws of physics, and so on. However, this brings us to point number 4, which is once you figure out quantity, dial in your quality. So let's take those two examples. McDonald's, donuts, they're eating in a caloric deficit, they're getting leaner. Here we've got the avocados, the walnuts, the lean meats, proteins, whatever, and they're not getting leaner, right? Now, let's swap it, and let's say now the person eating healthy is in a calorie deficit, and the person eating unhealthy foods is in a calorie deficit as well. So both calorie deficits are equal. The person who's eating the nutrient-dense foods, the healthier foods, the quality foods, will experience less hunger, better performance, more mental clarity, better hormonal balance, better energy levels, less cravings, etc., etc. They're going to find it much easier to actually see progress and stick with their caloric deficit diet, whereas this individual is going to have a tough time because most of their foods are calorie dense. They don't get a lot of nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. They're getting constant hunger and craving spikes. Their performance is going to be poor. Their body composition is going to be poor. Chances are they're not hitting their macros very well. Their energy levels are going to be up and down. Their sleep, so on and so forth. So once again, the last 2 points was first, quantity precedes quality. I don't care what you eat for breakfast. Look, I get people who are hundreds of pounds overweight telling me how amazingly healthy their breakfast is. And I'm like, wow, your breakfast is healthier than mine, but I'm 10 times healthier than you. Why is that? Well, maybe if we put this on a scale, we realize how healthy your breakfast is does not matter. How much of that healthy food are you eating? So quantity precedes quality. Once you figure out quantity, then make it as quality as possible. Okay, I've talked about the 80-20 rule many times. I highly suggest you consume at least 80% of your calorie and macro targets from nutrient-dense sources. The last point I want to touch on is a couple things. One is how long do you have to track for? And really the answer is it depends. Shocker, right? The point is track for as long as you want to. Just like finances, most people, once they start tracking, they'll typically continue tracking for a long period of time simply because it's the more optimal option where you have more control. But maybe once you reach a certain point, you decide to lay off the gas a little bit. And the same can be said for your nutrition. You don't have to track like a maniac. In fact, I don't obviously recommend obsessing over calories. Oh my God, this is off by 3 calories. Never that. I'll make a different video on that. But the point is tracking and just having a little bit more control. It's really up to you as to how hard you go into that and how long you do it for. Maybe you reach your goal, and like me right now, for example, I can get away with eyeballing on a lot of things. I'm not using the scale all the time because my metabolism's so high, because I spent years building muscle, because I spent years doing all this stuff. You can lay off the gas eventually, so there is hope for that. Now, the last thing I want to mention is the objection of, I don't like tracking calories. Well, welcome to fitness. You got to do some things that you don't want to do to get the results that nobody else gets, right? Nobody likes tracking calories. Listen, if you ask somebody who tracks calories religiously, like me, let's ask me right now, would you rather track calories or not track calories? If it gets me the same result, obviously I'd rather not track. Ask a billionaire, would you rather have tracked your money or not tracked it? Well, would it make me a billionaire if I didn't track it anyway? Yes. Well, then I would not track. The only reason we track is if you want to see results, if you want optimal results, if you want to stop guessing, if you want to stop frustration, if you want to stop plateaus. So if you don't want to stop those things, if you're okay with a little bit of getting stuck, spinning your wheels, that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't come over here and say, I don't like tracking calories, and by the same token, immediately after that sentence, but I don't know why I can't lose body fat. Well, the answer's staring you in the face. So if you don't like tracking calories, too bad. Tracking calories doesn't care about your emotions. Your fitness level doesn't care about your emotions. I don't care about your emotions. In fact, I don't think anybody does except yourself. So stop feeling sorry for yourself, stop making up BS excuses, and just start tracking and watch what happens. I promise you, it takes maybe 5 minutes of your day, and that's if you're completely inexperienced. Anyways, guys, hope you found this video helpful. That is exactly why watching what you eat is not gonna get you where you wanna go, and how you can actually get there. I hope you found it helpful. Drop your questions, comments, or biggest takeaways down below. Also, what do you wanna see in the next videos? Are you liking the content so far? Give me some feedback in the comments. I respond to all of them. Thank you so much for watching. Lastly, I have a free video training and free Facebook group down below that you should check out if your goal is to get leaner, gain energy and confidence, and become the best version of you. Appreciate you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.